Okay, so this is the fifth video, and it's going to review the Roman numeral three, the purpose. And this is going to be a short video, yeah, short recording. All right, so the purpose is a statement that aids your reader in understanding how you are framing the direction you'll take for your research. You are not required to include the quotation marks in the section when you write this section. So this is what I mean. Okay. This highlighted part, or this part that I'm highlighting currently, with the exclusion of the quotation marks, you're going to write this clause out exactly under the purpose. So you're going to write the purpose of the study is to. And then once you're done writing the beginning portion of this clause, and the next thing you're going to do, and I'm going to stress this, you are only going to select one of these choices from this parenthetical comment. All right. And you want to make sure that you use one of these choices, right? Because they have a specific meaning within the context of the essay. Okay. And then once you decide which of the five points you're going to select, and then you're going to state what your topic is, like society and crime for mine. And then what you're going to do is like, why did you select the point you selected from the parenthetical comment? Basically, you're giving a warrant and a reason as to why you made that choice. All right. Okay. So hopefully that makes sense. And I'm going to explain the significance of each point. Okay. Now, if you select explore, this is what you're telling your reader. And you're telling your reader that you don't have the full grasp of what the argument is, the issues, who are the major contributors to shaping the debate about your particular topic. And there's nothing wrong with that, because you're just telling your reader that you want to be able to understand the issues more, or have more, or make it clear for yourself. So then that's what you're doing, and then this is literally called an exploratory study. And there's nothing wrong with exploratory studies. A lot of researchers usually start with an exploratory study to see what type of literature or what type of research project they're able to engage in. Right. So explore is a good choice. All right, to begin, to start off with. All right. However, if you want to make it a little more challenging for yourself, what you could do next is maybe select better understand. So then what you're saying to your reader when you're selecting better understand is that you're telling the reader that, one, you have a familiarity with the topic, the issues, and the issues can be anything from theoretical, empirical, to evidentiary, or the evidence that is used, and even to the point of how these ideas are presented and how they're framed. Right. So then, by selecting better understand, you're telling your reader that you do have a reasonable understanding and a reasonable comprehension and and a reasonable command of the different issues about this particular topic. Right. So then this is a little more challenging than an explore. Okay. Now, if you want to uh, have a greater challenge placed on your shoulders as you write, you can do it by selecting contribute to existing theory. And what you're saying here to your reader is that you understand the theoretical arguments about your particular topic. You know who are the major contributors to developing the ideas and points and frames of analysis and categories of understanding about that particular topic. So then you're telling your reader that you have a very strong command of the issues, the issues could be empirical, theoretical, rhetorical, so on and so forth. And that you have a good grasp on what those issues are, right? So then if you do select it, and also just to make it clear, depending which of the five you select, I am going to look for those elements in the essay, right? So you want to make sure if you make, and especially if you select contribute to existing theory, discover new information, or make policy recommendations, I would expect to see that somewhere. And if you're not sure, and if you do decide to select one of these 3 points, send me an email so we could have a discussion, right? And I could send you like a YouTube, not a YouTube link, sorry, a Zoom link, so we could have a virtual online meeting to help, so I could help you frame and be able to carry through and follow through with the last three selections. But if you decide to do explore, better, understand, um, you still need to show the understanding of that in the body, but the level of or the degree to which how that's evaluated is much lower compared to the other three, if that makes any sense. Okay, but they're still relevant and they're still important points to be used and understood and implemented. Okay. Oh, excuse me. All right, and then the next one is discover new information. And this one again, you're telling your reader that you have a strong command of the issues, the theories, the debates, the contributors. But based on your understanding, you notice that the existing literature is missing something, at least to what you're collected at the moment. So then you want to incorporate that new information into the broader discussion about your topic and indicate, like from one or two of your sources, why that source isn't complete, and that you want to include that piece of information that they don't consider. And then you have to explain why you're introducing that piece of information into the broader discussion, right? And this is part of what I've been having you try to sort of understand, that you also have the ability to contribute to the understanding and development of certain sociological understandings and sociological narratives, right? Hopefully that makes sense. But that's sort of what it means, at least the connotation when you select discover new information, and then finally make policy recommendations. Excuse me. And policy recommendation is just that, as of what it sounds, is that you're going to make a policy recommendation where you want to ameliorate the issue that you're trying to discuss. And ameliorate just means that you want to offer a solution to that particular problem or issue. All right. So, like for example, if I wanted to do or make policy recommendations for the example that I wrote out, um, I would have talked about how to try to reform um, the use of politicizing crime, and how politicizing crime has had a negative impact on the use and function of developing public policy. Okay. So again, you need to make sure that despite whichever of the choices that you make, that you're able to justify and defend the position that you're taking, right? But just to sort of make this point clear before I end the discussion on the purpose, the easiest ones to defend currently would be explore or better understand. All right, like I mentioned earlier, the threshold of evaluating these 2 points is slightly lower than it is to contribute to existing theory, discover new information, or make policy recommendations. All right. So it's perfectly fine to select either explore or better understand. But if you select the latter, one of the latter 3 points, you really have to think about how you're going to accomplish um, showing these points in your writing. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So I'm going to stop the video here, and then I'm going to go to the lit review.